So for episode 2 of my mini-series on wild swimming in and around Chamonix, I've come to the Parc de Loisirs, I believe that's how it's pronounced, in the Contamines. But there's a problem. The water's gone. I had a feeling this might happen out of season, but I'd hope to get a couple more weeks yet before they actually drained it. But clearly I'm too late. I guess I'll just have to enjoy the sun and sand without the ice cold water instead. For now, you're just going to have to imagine that this oversized sandpit is full of crystal clear alpine water. But I'll give you a bit of a brief overview anyway. So the Contamines is about a 40-45 minute drive from Chamonix. It's one valley over, just up at the top of the valley above Saint-Gervais. You could just about get here by public transport if you're really desperate, but it'd be hugely convoluted and would probably take you most of the day, so wouldn't really be worth it. But just for argument's sake, theoretically you could take the Bellevue cable car from Les Contamines up to the top, take the tramway to Mont Blanc down into Saint-Gervais, then use a combination of buses to get here. But yeah, a hell of a lot of effort. So this is a completely man-made lake which has been landscaped specifically for swimming in. So in that regard it's very much stretching the definition of wild swimming yet again. But when it is full you could get a reasonable amount of swimming done here, assuming that it's not really busy of course. According to the signs at its deepest it's at 1.8 meters deep, so you could just about dive in off of those boardwalks as well, even though the sign says you're not supposed to. But yeah, it's a pretty shallow, pretty small lake with a lot of sand around the edge, so it's great for families and great for relaxing. Not hugely adventurous, but it's again a beautiful setting. So during the peak season you'd have to pay both for parking and to actually get into the lake as well. Although there is free parking just another 50 metres or so up the road, so you can quite easily avoid the parking charge. But I don't know what times the gate's actually staffed, but yeah, for the whole of summer you have to pay to get into the lake. Then clearly once it's no longer staffed they drain it, so the only way you can really get in for free is if you come in out of hours, which is of course perfectly doable. I imagine that closes at 5 or 6 and you can just walk in. There's loads to do here besides swimming. Indeed, the swimming is actually probably the smallest part of the park. There's loads of zip wires and high ropes type courses yet again. There's beach volleyball, there's pedlos on the other little lake, which you can't swim in that lake, that's just purely for the pedlos. There's kids play areas, there's tennis courts, what else? Oh, archery. There's actually a really big rock climbing crag just a couple of minutes away, so this would be a good place to come spend the day climbing in the crag and then come to the lake once it's all closed off and so you can swim for free. There's even dry slope ski jumping, which is absolutely crazy. I saw them doing that a couple of weeks ago. I think jumping off of a huge ramp and then removing the snow is just a whole new level of insanity. But there we are. The valley we're in trends roughly north-south, so even at this time of year it gets loads of sun and pretty much all the sun going. So the lake will heat up very quickly in the summer and will, if it was still here, I'd imagine it would heat up reasonably well just on one sunny day like today, as it's a really small body of water. So yeah, it's a bit of a sun trap year round, but especially I imagine in the height of summer it'll get very warm here. So I can't really give this one a rating as I've not actually swum in it, so I guess I'll have to wait till next summer to come here again and do this episode justice and actually finish it off and tell you what I think. But in terms of like first impressions, it's a beautiful little spot. As long as you come here in a relatively quiet period, and I'm sure it'd be a nice place to swim as well.